You guys, this is my leak and this is the podcast. Just wanted to let you know that in the coming months, you will notice some slight changes to this podcast, but nothing that I need you to be concerned about. I just want to let you know that I'm getting clearer on how I want to continue showing up here and my experiences as I finish this 211-hour ICF Level 2 accredited coach training program has opened me up to more ideas. And so I have shown up here on this podcast for 13 years, quote unquote, coaching to some degree. And so this doesn't seem like that far off in terms of what I'm trying to do. My therapist has helped me understand this. You know, during this year off I've taken, I wanted to do something I once didn't have the money to do. And then once I got the money to do it, I did not have the time. So this year I have made the time, and my goodness, I am enjoying it. If you sign up for my newsletter, you know that I offered some of those coaching spots for this month. I will release more again. So if you want to find out more about that, please sign up for my newsletter on myleak.com. And today we are going to talk about what happens when we say things like, I should be further along. I want to make more money. I want more in life. And whether we're saying these things to ourselves or others, I just want to talk about some of these statements. I notice that when I ask people what further along looks like or what it might mean, they don't always have answers. And once they start talking a little bit more and we get to an answer, there are some hints that appear that they may already have the more they're searching for, or we find out they want something altogether different. We're just so used to saying those vague statements. And so when you want something different, sometimes you don't want more. You find out you want less. So follow me as we talk about the pitfalls of vague desires. Have you ever said something like, I want to get in shape. I want to be more organized. I want to make more money. I want a new job. Have you ever heard that or said that? Let's take another one. I want to travel. If someone said that to you, you might ask, well, where do you want to go? When do you want to go? What are you going to pack? Are you going to drive or fly? What time of the year are you going? And the list goes on. This same set of questions would apply to the vague desires I stated earlier. If you want to get in shape, what does that mean? Are you increasing your endurance? Are we talking about strength training? Are you wanting to lose weight? If so, how much? When will you start? How will you do it? The same goes for making more money. What's your target income? What's the timeline? Do you have a strategy? Vague goals produce vague results. How do you measure progress of vague desires? How will you know you have succeeded? When you have these vague goals and desires, it means no one is accountable, not even you. And this could lead to feelings of being stuck. That's one of the top sort of questions I get anytime I ask, what anyone wants to talk about. Everyone wants to talk about being stuck. And so it's not so much that we are stuck. It could be that we have vague desires that we are not tracking. Something else about vague goals is that they can be overly idealistic. They can be impractical or even romanticized. When we say something vague and we romanticize it, we don't track it or sort of investigate it. It can seem like we are not getting to it because we haven't gotten clearer about it. And so let's talk about getting more specific. There are many different frameworks that will help you create clearer and more specific goals, but I don't want to discuss them here today because I want to talk about figuring out what you really want. What is underneath I want more money? Sure, we can take the SMART goals approach and break down how to increase your income, and you can sell things on the side. But what if we gently poked at that question? Is it truly more money or is it time? What things do you want to do with the money? Maybe you can do them with what you have now. That's the thing about, people will say, I want to travel, and you will be surprised at where you can actually go and what you can do. And if we talk about road trips, staycations, virtual travel, there is so much we can do. But let me get back to the topic. Do you feel like you need more money before you can start living? Or does it seem like everyone else has more money than you? And I just want to hang there for a second. Do you ever open up a certain app and find your blood boiling with resentment? Okay, maybe not that extreme. But do you ever feel insecure and wonder why your life doesn't look like that? Or at least better than what it is now. You open it and there's all this modern furniture, there's international vacations, people drinking $20 smoothies, gorgeous hotels, boutique fitness classes, or I'll do you one better, just looking good without doing anything at all. You go to work or you go somewhere and there's fancy cars in the parking lot, and all of those expensive restaurants are always crowded. How are people doing this? Well, that's why I wanted to talk about this. What do you really want? What's the thing you want that you've been afraid to say? Do you want the fancy car or do you not want a car note? When you can really get honest with yourself about what you want, you can start to admire without comparing. I see so many incredible things online that I can admire. And even if I'm comparing, it's from a place of contentment with what I have. So I can see a big, new, fancy house on my timeline too. And I'm so rooted in the fact that I will never buy another house that I cannot clean on my own in a day. I will not do that again. So I can admire what you're doing without feeling like I need more because I know what I need. I can see people buying and wearing really expensive, beautiful jewelry. And here's what I know about myself. I lose things constantly. I have no business buying anything over an amount I am not willing to lose. So I can sit with you decked out in gold and diamonds from head to toe and admire because I know me. I know what I really want. And I once bought a bigger SUV because I thought, you know what? I need a sick mom-mobile. And after some months, I returned it. I don't like that. I don't need that. I know now fully that I prefer an electric car. So please whip the G-Wagon around, whip it all around. I personally want a rolling cell phone. And so what I want you to do is take some time this week to clarify your desires. And when you say vague statements, I challenge you to be more specific. I challenge you to track your progress. I want you to write down a goal, or if you don't have a goal, I want you to think about a direction that is aligned with your values. We've been talking a lot about values on this podcast. And I want you to add the smallest step you can possibly take and track that. Sometimes the smallest possible step you can take is downloading an app. Sometimes it's deleting an app. Sometimes it's calling and making an appointment or writing down the phone number or putting the phone number on your schedule or on your calendar. I really want you to think about taking the smallest step. I want you to think about being flexible. It is perfectly fine to have a goal or a direction, but you can nix it and do something else, even if it's something you've told everyone that you want. But it's really important for us to clarify what's working for us or what we really want, because we can get caught up in societal expectations, things we think other people want to see us doing, but we're not being really honest about who we are and what we want. And I can assure you something, when you're really clear about who you are and what you want, even if someone questions it or you feel questioned, you are very rooted and solid. Like, yeah, listen, I know this about myself. So as we wrap up, I hope this conversation today sparks a deeper reflection of what you really mean when you say things like further along or wanting more. The clarity you gain by being specific about your desires isn't just about setting goals. It's about understanding yourself better, making more informed choices, and genuinely embracing the life you want to create. Knowing you have the tools to make the right decisions for yourself is empowering. If you've ever felt stuck or unsure about your direction, I challenge you to sit down with your desires this week. Dig deep beyond the surface level wants. What truly drives you? What do you need to let go of? What do you need to move closer to? Write these things down, make them tangible, and start with a tiny, actionable step. And remember, it is okay to change your mind. It is necessary to evolve. What matters is that you're moving in a direction that aligns with your most authentic self, not the one shaped by comparison or external expectations. You are not just aiming for more. You are aiming for what's genuinely yours. Until next time, you can keep up with me at Myleik all over the interwebs or myleik.com everywhere online. Bye, guys.